Hello friends, how are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. Myself, I'm doing okay. And welcome to Verified Soul and also to this video. How can one tell whether his case number or her case number is low or high or lies there in between? And why do we ask ourselves this question? It's because we want to know whether with our case number, can we make it into the interview? Can our case numbers be reached and be scheduled for an interview? So how do you classify yourself? Is your case number high or low? So follow me step by step as I do this video for you to understand and place yourself with your case number within those three regions: high, low, or there in between, and therefore gauge your chances of getting an interview. In order to understand this, let's first of all understand these basics, that in the DV lottery program, there are 6 regions, and these 6 regions are classified as follows. We have the AF region, that is the Africa region. Then we have the EU region, that is the Europe region. We have the AS region, that is the Asian region. We have the North American region, denoted as NA. We have the South America region, SA, and we have the Oceania, which includes Australia and the surroundings. Now, having understood that, these regions have been categorized and they affect the number of visas or selectees in the DV lottery that will be allocated to those various regions. What do I mean? You'll find some regions will have high number of selectees allocated to them, that is high number of visas within the 55,000 visas allocated to them, while other regions you'll find them having very low number of visas allocated to them. Why does it happen so? It's because we have these regions, and each region sends immigrants to the US. Not only the diversity visa immigrants, but also all other forms of visas, like the family-based visas, the work visas, and name them, all those other visas inclusive. Every 5 years, the total number of immigrants to the US that a certain region sends will be taken into consideration. Those regions which send many immigrants to the US within those 5 years, the past 5 years, will be given lower number of visas in the DV lottery program. Get me clearly. For example, we have the EU region. You'll find that in the past 5 years, they have sent this amount of immigrants, and by the look of things, they have sent quite a big number to the US. So they will need this certain number of visas for them to meet the requirement. Remember, every country, now we've narrowed down to country. Every country in the past 5 years should not have exceeded 50,000 immigrants to the US through all those various types of visas. And if a country exceeds that, the 50,000 mark, then they are eliminated or excluded from those countries that will play in the DV lottery for a certain year. Now, let's come back to the region. If the totality of those countries in that region have sent almost enough immigrants, they will have a lower visa number allocated to them. And those regions who have sent the least number of immigrants to the US within the past 5 years, then will be given higher portion in that share. Have you understood that? Now, you'll find out that AF region, Africa region, normally in most cases, in many DV lottery, they have the largest share. They have the lion's share. They have normally a total of around 24,000 visas from the diversity visas allocated to them. For Europe, you'll find that about 19,000 visas have been allocated to the Europe region. And for Asia, you'll find around 9,000 visas in many DV lottery programs allocated to the Asia region. And the list goes down that way. Now, the total number of visas allocated to a particular region will affect the number of selectees. For Africa region, you'll find that it will have been given a lot of selectees as compared to the Europe region and the other regions. And the Europe region will have much higher number of selectees as compared to the AS region, and so on and so forth. And if you take from the previous selectees, for Africa region, you'll find that we normally have very high case numbers, up to 90,000, up to 120,000, like in this case, we've heard of 122,000 for the DV Lottery 2024. So you'll find case numbers going as high as that for Africa. For the Europe region, you'll find that we go up to the 40,000 towards the 50 and also even 54,000 around that point, like in this DV Lottery 2024. For Asia, you'll find an upward of 36 to 37 all the way to around 40 or 45,000 like in this year. And for Oceania, you'll find that around 2,000 towards 3,000 of selectees in that region. So the number of visas allocated to a particular region is affected by the total number of immigrants sent by that region within the past 5 years. And the total number of visas allocated to a particular region also affect the number of selectees in a DV program. I hope you've understood that. Now, let's come to this point. How do you determine the position of your case number? For me, what I normally do, and it has always worked, I usually consider the highest case number in a particular region and the lowest case number. And then I take the difference, and then after getting the difference, I divide that difference into 3 portions. That is a third, a third, a third. After I divide that number into 3 portions, that is from the lowest case number to a third, then from a third to 2/3, then from to 2/3 to the whole number. And then all those case numbers that fall in the first third, that is from the lowest case number up to that first third of those numbers, they fall under the low case numbers. And then those who take the last third, that is the third towards the highest case number, those people, they fall under the high case numbers. I usually do that and it has always worked. And those people within the third, that is in between, then they are medium case numbers. And the lowest case numbers and the medium case numbers, they have high chances of getting their interviews. The high case numbers, they have higher risks. So if you take from 0% up to around 60-75%, those are case numbers that have chances, but above 75% upward, then the risk of not getting their interview scheduled increases. And finally, you should note that from the lowest case number towards the highest case number, the chances of getting your interview scheduled, they go on decreasing from the lowest case number to the highest case number. So this is always a complicated topic to discuss on, but I know I've tried as much as possible to bring it home as closely as possible to your understanding. So if you find this information very useful, please don't forget to like the video and don't forget to subscribe and push the bell on. Let's meet in the next video.